interest. That's what we call clash of interest. This person that answers this name, is it closer to so person? For example, the South Commission, we have one, Mr. Akpabio. Is this related to, the Senate president? If they are from the same state anyway, Akwa Ibom. If there's a nexus, if there's a connection, one person is supposed to leave the office. Either the woman leaves or the Senate president leaves. But here is a country where anything goes. So I find it difficult where we come to the realization that we are not doing things correctly here. We are not doing things correctly in Nigeria. Let me also say very quickly, because we have not passed it. Even the budget of Nigeria is supposed to be in the shares of every university, in every community, in every town hall, because project in your community is in that budget, but we are not aware. And that is why we have ghost projects. At the end of the day, the project cannot be functioned 50%. And all what the senators and House of Reps will say, oh, we are very sorry, the budget cannot be maximized up to 40%, 50%. Okay, let's try next year. All the trillions and the party will just end like that. How long shall we continue like that? So let's come back to the realization. We must have the character commission, federal character commission. Is it working? The purpose of federal character commission was to represent each ethnicity and each tribe in this country. But now when there's lopsided appointment everywhere, where are other minorities protected? Is that not why we have some issue of people talking about how their ethnic nationality have been so grounded in the same Republic of Nigeria as we so to speak? Why should we continue to do like this? And we play deaf ears. And all this information, whether they are getting it or they are not getting it, sometimes I begin to wonder why we begin to eat and come to the public fair and educate people and nothing will change. It looks like if what we are doing is not beginning to yield effort, because that is the purpose of communication. The purpose of communication is to find a lasting solution, and the leadership will begin to change according to the information they are gathering on the streets, everywhere, and on other medias. Well, here, they will say, continue to talk your talk. They will continue to do what they are doing. So, to the affirmative action, or the affirmation, is true that appointments are tilted to the Yoruba ethnic nationality, just as the days of President Muhammadu Buhari.
All right, let me go to Mr. Nosike. Is it fair to assess the cabinet of the president and say that there's a Yorubanization, talking about an ethnic agenda in terms of the appointment under President Tinubu's administration?
Well, for me, assuming that those appointments were based on competence, understand, I wouldn't have bothered. But they were not based on any form of competence. Do you know that Southeast as a whole has just one substantial minister, Dave Umahi? In the other 4 states, they just have junior ministers. For instance, in Anambra, the Women Affairs Minister, Ohanaeze, was removed. And the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs was brought in. So in the Southeast as a whole, just one substantial minister.
And some would say that we have Ojukwu Bianca as a minister as well.
He's a junior minister, Minister of State.
Okay.
But a full minister, Ohanaeze, the Minister of Women Affairs, was removed, who is a full minister. And the Minister of State, in the person of Bianca Ojukwu, was brought in. So it is in Abia, in Imo, understand me? So Southeast as a whole just have one substantial minister. Then, but as I said, assuming that they were based there, that the appointments were based there on competence, I wouldn't have minded at all. Because if you can bring Chinese people who will make Nigeria to work, I wouldn't mind. Because what matters to me is the well-being of the people. Where those who are doing it come from, I don't care. I don't want to know. But these are mediocres that they were given appointments. Mediocres, half-baked people, simple because they are from the southwest. But as Duko said, Tinubu was not the originator. Buhari did the same thing in his own time. And all of them were just a bunch of incompetent people. But the federal character said that no department, no organization, no ministry should be dominated by a particular set of people. That's people from a particular group, a particular ethnic group, or whatever. The Federal Character Commission, the purpose is to give sense of belonging to every Nigerian. That's inclusiveness. But up to today, Igbos have not been reconciled to Nigeria. Understand me? Southeast had not been reconciled to Nigeria. That's why in the whole of 5 states, all they have is just one substantial minister. So why are they now saying that Igbos should not go? Understand me? You either accept me or you reject me. But Igbos, they have not been accepted. Then ask them that to go. You say no, that they will not go. So this is a winner takes it all in Nigeria. Once an ethnic group becomes president, they say this is our opportunity to take our own part of the national cake.
Where did we get it wrong? When did our leaders get it wrong? Because if Tinubu, for instance, says that the past administration practiced this style of government talking about ethnic coloration of appointments, should he now behold Tinubu to continue that trend or try to make a difference?
For me, I faulted Tinubu for towing the way of Buhari, because Buhari is not a socialist. Buhari does not relate with people outside his own ethnic community. But Tinubu has been able to build bridges across the country. I say this and I stand on it. Give Atiku president today, he will appoint 36 ministers within 24 hours. Because he has traversed the length and breadth of the country. Tinubu has also done the same thing. So Tinubu's appointment does not supposed to be like that of Buhari, who has been in his Katsina and Kaduna. When Tinubu was coming on board, he said that people are expecting him to appoint a government of national unity. But that he's going to appoint a government of national unity and government of national competence. There's no single competent person in Tinubu's administration.
That's a damning assessment.
Mention one.
At least you said Umahi just now. And
I said, I didn't mention him as a Ronaldo or as a Messi.
But you don't have to be a Ronaldo or Messi standard to be a good player.
I said Southeast has only one substantial minister.
Okay, not like he's a performing minister.
Which are performing.
What about the Minister of Interior?
Where is he from? Is he from the Southeast?
He's a Southwestern. We're talking about the whole cabinet in general.
Minister. The bone of contention is Yorubanization. That's what we are talking about.
Okay.
Understand me? So when the North gets to power, they see it as an opportunity to cut their own share of the national cake. When the Southwest comes in, this is our time to chop. Understand me? So imagine the kind of cabinet that Jonathan had. Imagine the kind of cabinet that Jonathan had. The chief of army staff was an Igbo man, not from South. Understand me? The start of the administration, Akinwumi additional was from the south west. That's giving an impression of a national government. But these people, well, it's a pity.
All right. Can we even say the FCT minister, for instance, Jens Wike is also a minister and on that Tinubu's cabinet, and a lot of appraisals have been going in terms of his functions and abilities in the Federal Capital Territory.
Excuse me, I don't want to discuss.
Yes, Wike. All right, let me go to Comrade Pius. Taking a look at the composition of Tinubu's cabinet. Under President Olusegun Obasanjo, at least he was from the southwest, we have a fair amount of ministers. And at the point of time, he had 27 until he increased it to 30. And there was no colorization of ethnic backgrounds.
Under Obasanjo, yes. Okonjo Iweala was the coordinating minister.
The coordinating minister
which is like a prime minister. Understand me? So this shows you the level of involvement.
Yeah, I'm coming from Obasanjo in terms of exposure in comparison to Tinubu. I believe that Tinubu should be someone who should know more better as a Democrat, and someone who has left military and now a Democrat was still able to manage a cabinet that Nigerians at least perceive to be fair in terms of appointment and federal character respected, and even less number of ministers, and he was still able to perform. Why is it now difficult for Tinubu as a Democrat able to at least prove down his number of ministers and fairly appoint those who are competent? Comrade.
Let me say it very frankly. Correct an impression by the very senior comrade over there in Lagos. He alluded to the fact that even if every ministers are competent and they come from the same geopolitical zone, that he will not be perturbed. But to me, such a very wonderful statement is a disguise, because it also negates the principle of the Federal Character Commission, which those who have the spirit of people who wrote that thing, the Federal Character Commission has a moving spirit of representing the 6th geopolitical zone. So the competency of all the ministers in one side will also contravene and contradict such a commission. So I want my very senior comrade to know that no matter how a thing is being good, it cannot be as good as also destroying the other part of existing law, because that Federal Character Commission is an existing law anyway. That is by the way. So, but on this side, to go very fair, I am still saying it very vehemently that until each of the 6 geopolitical zones are represented, even on boards, at the ministerial level, at agencies, it is not good for us that we are not fairly representing how it's supposed to be as a federation. As a federation, and when the federal government is controlling per se, especially has to do with appointing ministers, agencies. And we should also know that the 13% derivation is still in function. 13% meaning that the resources from other federating units is keeping the center, and you are taking the bulk of the resources and you are giving the state only 13%. The interpretation is that in the affairs of the thing that concern them, you must also look at the human capital development by appointing them too. Because you are not only taking their resources, you should also bring people that will also represent the nationality of where these monies are coming from, where the resources are coming from, so that they won't look like if they are being trivialized. They won't look like if nobody knows them. They won't look like if they are not citizens. How can they relinquish their resources to you to keep Nigeria one, to keep Nigeria moving? Then when it comes to appointment, you also remove them from the scheme of things. It means that that's a double jeopardy. They are losing in the resources, they are losing in the human capital development, which their people have not been represented. And that is the essence. That was the message of Kensal Wiwa so many years ago in 1993. That why should the federal government treat Ogoni people like if they are not part of Nigerians? And that was where the issue of making appointments by the state, by the federal government, of Ogoni nationality, ethnic nationality, comes from. And that was where we have the peaceful demonstration from. So any ethnic group that find marginalized, find sidelined, can also stand up because it is their right. It is their fundamental human right. So we will not fail to mention it in any administration, whether this one or the one or the anyone that is the next to come. Thank you.
All right, definitely. A lot of assessment has been made about the 2 years in office of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. With rising inflation, food insecurity, and naira volatility, can Tinubu's economic reforms be called anything but experimental and disconnected?
It's trial and error. It is trial and error. When somebody that is prepared comes to office, you will know it within a month. When somebody that is prepared comes into office, you will notice it within a month. But Tinubu, his mind is to get all the power and not to govern. His mind is to win all the power. I have made other people president. It's now my turn to be president. I supported Goodluck Jonathan in 2011. I brought Buhari in 2015. This is now my turn. So that's where his eyes are not to come and govern.
All right, let me talk about the Ohanaeze made mention of creation of more states in the Southeast. Why has there been little to no movement on Southeast inclusion, like state creation or fair census representation, despite electoral promises?
Well, for me, it's very difficult for a civilian regime to create states. It is very, very difficult, because now the people in the Senate, South has only 15 senators, and Nigeria is rub my back, I rub your back. So if Southeast senators move for a creation of additional states, which justice demands, other people will also start asking for additional states. Understand me? So, and for the state to be created, 24 out of the 36 states, State House of Assembly will have to endorse it. You don't expect somebody, those in Kaduna, those in Kanu, to endorse creation of additional states in the Southeast without them getting something. So all the states that have been created in the country was created by the military and under fiat. Understand? So you don't need anybody to help you. Then in the census issue, the template that they were using for census since 1931 is what they are using up to today. Understand me? The last census in Nigeria was in 2006. It was the template of 1931, which was prepared by the colonial masters to favor the North, that they are still using up to today. And then the colonial masters understand the importance of population numbers. So they ensure that the North would always be more in number than the South, even though the indices are not there. Understand me? Because it was the South that gave them tough time during the quest for independence. North never put up any action. So it was the South that gave them tough time. So they now made sure that that the South will be treated with regard to census. So they are still using the same template up to today. And even if you conduct the census today, North will be more than the South. Because one day I was in a coastal bus with the governor of Adamawa State, Nyako, who is a very good friend. We were traveling for more than 2 hours. I didn't see any house. I said, excuse me, sir. We've run for 2 hours without seeing any house. Where is the population of the North? How is the North more populated than the South? Nyako told me, now so I hear. Understand? Because this is land mass does not constitute a population. It is density. So the North is 2 times bigger than the South in terms of land mass. But the density is in the South, not in the North. But because of the fraud of the colonial masters, this fraud has continually been perpetuated. So conduct census today, the North will still be higher than the South. Even though migration has been going from the North to the South because of insecurities in all the northern states. So, and that's why they continue to brag that they have the numbers that determines who wins
In elections.
Understand me?
Okay, let me go over to the next conversation where President Bola Tinubu's bid for a second term in 2027 is gaining momentum as high-ranking officials and lawmakers continue to offer early endorsement. The Executive Secretary of the National Board for Technical Education, Idris Bugaje, on Friday called for Tinubu to be given another 6 years in office to continue his administration's reforms, particularly in the education sector. He made the statement during the launch of the Technical and Vocational Education Training (TVET) initiative in Abuja, attended by Education Minister Tunji Elausa. Bugaje's call aligns with the All Progressive Congress (APC), which last week formally declared Tinubu as its sole presidential candidate for 2027. APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje made the announcement during the party's national summit in Abuja. In a further show of party unity, all National Assembly members from Cross River State also endorsed President Tinubu and Governor Basi Otu for re-election. Led by Senator Eteng Jonah Williams, the lawmakers cited infrastructural strides like the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway and student loan schemes as key achievements. While Tinubu's economic policies such as subsidy removal and naira floating remain controversial, supporters argue that his administration's long-term vision justifies continuity. Comrade, would you justify continuity on the basis of the fact that the policies are still short-term pain and the long-term gain? That has been the word since Buhari's time. 8 years have gone. Now we have 10 years. What does it say about Nigeria's democratic health when the endorsements for 2027 are being made just 2 years into a presidency despite widespread economic hardship?
Permit me to digress a little on the issue which you could not allow me to contribute, the issue of state creation.
State creation, okay, go ahead.
Especially, let me touch it because I have been an advocate of querying the senators and House of Reps from the Southeast for not demanding the additional states for a long time. I have been on so many sister stations talking about the additional creation because that is against their fundamental human rights. The 6 geopolitical zones cannot have 60 states and you leave one having 5. Was it deliberate? Was it a mistake? Was it something to punish them? And up to now, the Nigerian state have not answered. So if the issue of state creation is coming in and you are sharing one state per each of the geopolitical zone, you will give them two. Give them two straightforward. But let me also dismiss the allusion that state cannot be created during the elections. Civilian government, only the military. No, a state of emergency was created in Rivers State. That is a state creation. It was very easy. Very easy to call the House of Reps, call the senators. In 2 days, they signed state of emergency in Rivers State without any issue. So I think that
Hello, comrade. Are you with us?
His phone was.
Okay. Let me go to Mr. Nosike. Talking about early endorsements, in spite of all the criticism, is it like the politicians are not really feeling the hardship, or they don't know what's really on ground, and they all of a sudden, 2 years into a government that a lot of people are complaining about, they're already endorsing ahead of the next election?
Well, many of the endorsements is not voluntary. Many of the endorsements is not voluntary.
Are you saying they're endorsing under threat or duress?
Under duress. Example, one of the biggest markets in Lagos State, say that they are going to declare for APC to stop tax force from destroying their markets. So that's also an endorsement. Understand? Let us just say that we're in support of them to stop them from attacking us. Then some of the governors, some of the first-term governors don't want a Edo experience to happen to them because they know that APC is not a democratic party. It is a military that's wearing civilian uniform. So that's why Ganduje is only talking about capturing. We'll capture Edo, we'll capture Ondo. So somebody like Eno, Pastor Eno, and O2 and Sheriff don't want to lose their party, don't want APC to capture their party. So it is to safeguard their second term. That's why all this massive endorsements is going on.
Yeah.
Then many of them that have corruption cases. Understand? So they want to cross over so that their sin would not be mentioned anymore. So a lot of the endorsements are not voluntary. But 2027, if Nigerians decide, it's going to be APC versus Nigerians. That if Nigerians should wake up, it's going to be APC versus the suffering Nigerian masses.
All right. Let me just put this in before I go to the next conversation because of time. Can flagship projects like the Lagos-Calabar Highway justify continuity if inflation and unemployment continue to climb nationally?
The answer is no. The answer is a very big no. More than 800 businesses was destroyed because of this road. So imagine when 800 businesses are destroyed, the number of people that have been put out of where they are getting their daily bread, and now putting them into the already saturated unemployment market. So it doesn't make any sense at all.
All right, there is a major controversy which has erupted in Akwa Ibom State following the viral video released by Jane Edidiong Ufot, daughter of Governor Ohanaeze, in which she accused her father of engaging in dark spiritual practices and threatening her life. In the emotional video, Ufot claimed her late mother patient Oluwakemi Ohanaeze, who passed away in September 2024, was used as a sacrifice. She asserted, and I quote, "I am not the sacrifice mommy was, vowing not to meet a similar fate." Currently serving as the governor's senior special advisor on health, safety, and environment, who fought intensified allegations by involving a young daughter in a video call she claims was with the governor. The child, prompted by her mother, asked her grandfather if he intended to kill them. Her baby brother's statement that raised more questions than answers. And it goes on and on and on and on. And of course, I don't know whether we have time to take a brief look at that video, if our producers have it up, so that viewers will understand what we're talking about. Taking a look at this worrisome situation. And of course, if that will be ready, but I just want to put the question through to Mr. Ohanaeze. How should the public interpret such grave accusations coming from within the governor's own family, especially from someone holding a government position?
Well, for me, I have said it that a pastor, a reverend, cannot run a governorship race in Nigeria. So when I see them parading this post, it's just that to look good. That's for the masses. I know what is in this politics. It's not what a true pastor can do. It's not what a real reverend can do. Understand me? Politics is a dirty game. It is a murky water that will leave stains and strains on your body.
Are you saying the accusation of the daughter should not be taken lightly?
I say politics is not governorship. Even senatorial is not what a genuine pastor can do.
As a father, what should be his reaction? And what does this say about his re-election chances?
Well, he has crossed over to APC now. So he's more concerned with his second term than the welfare of Akwa Ibom people. So he feels that it is in APC that he knows that his election will not be rigged.
All right, we're pressed to time. I'd love to take that video, but we'll have to leave it here because time is really not our friend. And no, the producers, if you have the video, just take it briefly so we can wrap it up on the show this evening. And of course, that's the disturbing video. I don't know the audio if it's up. All right, let's just leave it at that. Let's just leave it at that just because of time so that we can wrap it up. I want to say big thanks, Mr. Ohanaeze, for being a part of the show this evening. It's been a pleasure having you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you for having me.
All right, big thanks to Comrade Pius Duko for being a part of the show this evening. It's been a pleasure having your insight on the issues.
My time, we are cut off. These are some hitches. I would have loved to have added it up, but time is on our side, especially this very critical moment.
Yes.
And that of the other issues that you have left me behind. No problem. Some other time we're going to add it up.
All right. Have a great weekend, comrade. And that's...
Yeah, and you too.
All right. All right. That's where we'll leave it tonight. Nigeria, the questions have been asked. The truth is still unfolding. From the power plays in Abuja to the whispers of danger in Akwa Ibom, one thing is clear. This nation is watching and history is taking note. We'll be here same time, same station, cutting through the noise, asking what others want. Until then, stay informed, stay critical, and stay engaged. I am Jerry Apeloi, and this has been the issues only on Voice of the People TV. Good night and good conscience to all.